of Secretary Bonoan and the September NEP of Secretary Dizon, what are the changes, and if he could kindly explain the changes between the two NEPs. So, to go to the main point, as to the potential underlying undercurrent for all this, I've heard talk, including in Congress, that Secretary Dizon and his team have connections with DPWH contractors, and that certain members of Secretary Dizon's teams are, in fact, contractors. I am not the authority on this subject, but I think that it would be good to give Secretary Dizon the opportunity to explain. Of course, everyone knows people. So to say that Secretary Dizon knows DPWH contractors is not to say that there's anything inappropriate happening. Now, if he or members of his team have some proven interest in companies with DPWH contracts, and what I heard is that it's not him who is a contractor, it's a member or members of his team who are contractors. And how exactly, I am not the authority. But I have been told that this is actually known by many in Congress now. Then the question is, if it's true that new appointees in DPWH have interests in companies that do business with DPWH, are we sure that there will be no conflict of interest in the awarding of contracts? Why then has this not been previously disclosed? Secretary Dizon is very accessible to the media, and I hope then that we can ask him to disclose all of his and his team's connections to DPWH contractors, and if he thinks there are still kickbacks in DPWH, and if he has ever discussed or been offered kickbacks, and if he could share this so that we can all work together to stop the practice of giving kickbacks. Again, you can't avoid knowing people, but if these people have contracts with DPWH and in fact will win contracts in the months and years to come in DPWH, and that there is a reported history of kickbacks being given in DPWH, then I think it deserves more public scrutiny, especially because there are plans to decrease the projects being bid in the district engineering offices and move procurement to the regional or even central office. Could it be that these reforms in DPWH will not actually reduce corruption, but will transfer the benefits of it to another level or another group of parties or contractors? And again, I don't want to say this too authoritatively, but someone actually just told me before I arrived here now that not only did one person tell me that they heard that members of the team are actually contractors, that other members of the team have already been meeting with contractors outside of DPWH at may hinihingi na daw. So maybe Secretary Dizon can also check with all of his appointees who are the contractors, if any, that they have met since their appointment and what they discussed in those meetings. It's actually quite tragic because I know that so many people have so much hope for Secretary Dizon's leadership in the DPWH, as do I. And I hope then that he can be transparent on, even if it's not from him, but any attempted offers, any opportunities that he has had to talk with contractors or for his team to, any offers for kickbacks that have been made. So, again, this is all in the context of there being a history of this also happening in DPWH. And again, multiple sources telling me and saying that this is known already by many.